Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another retro ranking where we look at bands, songs, my favourite songs from bands from sort of my childhood, and today we are definitely doing childhood. Going to a band that sort of the great rock and roll revival in the 70s, and we're talking about Showaddywaddy. Formed in Leicester, just up the road from me. They specialised in the revivals of hit songs from the 50s and 60s. Also did a bit of original material. They spent 209 weeks on the UK single charts, had top 10 singles, with one reaching #1. As I said, they were formed in 1973, and they were an amalgamation of two groups, hence so many people. There was Choice and Golden Hammers. They changed their name to the Hammers. They both played in a pub in Leicester, and they became together and they became Showaddywaddy. They did appear on a talent show back in the 70s in England called New Faces. Mickey Most was one of the panelists, and there's a lot of great bands that come out of that show, and they were the winners of the series of 1974. They've had quite a lot of people in the band. They're still going, but the band that we sort of that classic band was Romeo Challenger, who was the drums, Malcolm Duke Allred on drums, Dave Bartram of course on the vocals, Russ Field guitar, Buddy Gask vocals, Al James bass, Trevor Oakes and Ron Dees. That were the band that I grew up on. So I've got my favourite Showaddywaddy songs here in my top 10. A couple of honourable mentions. So let's go and divulge back in the 70s when these were out. Most of these songs I was between the ages of 8, 9, 10, that sort of. So I remember these, and we used to watch New Faces, so I remember them on New Faces. So here we go. So coming in at number 10, got a track that was released in 1977. Got to number 2. You Got What It Takes, which was originally a hit for Marv Johnson in 1960. I've always liked this song. It's a great version of Marv Johnson's song, and I love the sax in this. It's really good, and it's a happy-go-lucky track. Okay, coming in at number 9, we'll go to 1975 now. A track that got to number 2 in the charts. It's Three Steps to Heaven, of course. Eddie Cochran's 1960 hit. As you know, I'm a big fan of Eddie Cochran, and when they done this, I mean, my dad's a big fan, and even he said this was as close as you get to Eddie's version, which, Dad was there with Eddie's, so great version, and it's a great song anyway. So they do a really great version of that one. Okay, coming in at number 8, you go to 1975 now. Got to number 5. That's that one that goes, Pretty Little Angel Eyes, Pretty Little Angel Eyes. Love this song. I actually prefer this version to the original done by Curtis Lee. I don't know, but the harmonies in this band were always brilliant. It's just a great rock and roll song, and Dave Bartram, what a great singer for rock and roll. Really love that track. Okay, then coming in number 7, there you go. Stay with 1978. This one got to number 2, and it's I Wonder Why, which was a hit back in 1958 for Dion and the Belmonts. Another song that I prefer than the original. Showaddywaddy's version, this is terrific. Again, you got that lovely harmonies. Great little track. Love this one. Like I like most of these. I'm a bit of a, when it comes to Showaddywaddy, they're a little bit of a guilty band. I do like rock and roll, and these sort of got fond memories of this band. Okay, coming in number 6, go to 1977, number 4 for them, and it's Dancing Party by that Chubby Checker hit from '62. I love Chubby Checker's version of this, and I love this version as well, because it's just a great song, great rock and roll, and you can't deny that. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, then coming in at number 5, go to 1980 now, towards the end of their sort of peak. Got to number 32, and it's Blue Moon. Various people have recorded this, most famously the Marcells in 1961. To be quite honest, I've never heard a bad version of Blue Moon, and all the other interpretations. It's just a great song, and I really like this version. Okay, then coming in at number 4, we go to Stay, 1977, a hit for them at number 3, and it's When, which was done by the Kalin Twins, 1958. Now, I'd heard this song before because my mum had this on single, so I knew the tune. I thought it was alright, but when I heard the Showaddywaddy's version, I thought it was even better, and I love this track. Brilliant stuff. Okay, number 3, we go to 1979 now, number 17. A track called Remember When. Again, it's got that lovely remember we. Great version. This was done by the Earls, of course, in 1962. Again, I think this is a better version. It's just great. Brilliant stuff. Okay, coming in at number 2, this is one of their own tracks. Got to number 2 in 1974. It's one of the songs they performed on New Faces, and it's the brilliant Hey Rock and Roll. Great track. Love this at school. We love this one. Yeah, that table. Talking of that table, I actually a few weeks ago, just before I got me Bell's palsy, I went for a drink on the Jubilee, and I met up with one of the, I hadn't seen him for about 12 months or more, and I met up with him and we were talking about that, and I told him about this and he thought it was brilliant. So yeah, we love that track, and I still love it today. So my number 1, go to 1976. This is their number 1 song, and it's the brilliant Under the Moon of Love, and I love this for 2 reasons. The double drums, the catchy tune, and I think this is a better version than Curtis Lee's. It's terrific. I love it as well with that, when you get the vocals, a little bit from Romeo. Little deep one. I can't do it because I can't sing very well at the moment. Can't sing a full stop, but great song, and I just love it. Great stuff. Okay, we've got some honourable mentions. So here's the first one. Again, this, I think we've mentioned this one on the Christmas songs. From 1974, got to number 13. It's Hey Mr. Christmas. It's, as I keep saying, I keep giving this a lot of love. It nearly made the top 10. But it's one of the forgotten Christmas songs of the 70s, and it's really, really good. Love that track. Bit different, but really good. Okay, the second track is not actually, was a single. It was on an album called Red Star, and it's Lloyd Price's You've Got Personality. This song is actually one of my favourite songs from the 50s. This was released back in 1959. I love Lloyd Price's version, but I think this version is really good as well because they've kept to its sort of core. It's a great song anyway. So, and Showaddywaddy do a great version of that. And my last one is a lovely little song, released in 1978, got to number 5, and it's a cover of the Jarmels song from 1961. A little bit of salt will wash away. Yep, it's just I mean, the Jarmels song is great. Their version is good, and Showaddywaddy's is good as well. I think they do a very, very good version of that track. So there we go. A bit of nostalgic 70s rock and roll revival with Showaddywaddy. That's all for today, folks. I'll be back tomorrow with Marathon Wednesday, and tomorrow is a viewer's request, and we're looking at the quite big catalogue of the Waterboys. Obviously it'll be split up into a few parts like Blue Oyster Cult was, because I can't ramble on for more than 20 minutes at a time. I need to stop. So that'll be for tomorrow. So enjoy today, whatever you're doing. Be good, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.